Eli wasn't a stranger to late nights. College affected him. Endless papers, unfinished projects, and the nagging feeling that he'd fall behind if he didn't push himself past exhaustion. His dorm room was small, cluttered with textbooks, empty energy drink cans, and laundry that had been waiting weeks to be folded. The only light came from his desk lamp and the pale glow of his laptop screen. It was a little past 11:45, and Eli's eyes burned as he reread the same sentence of his research paper for the fifth time. The hum of his laptop fan was the only sound in the room. He rubbed his face, checked the time on his phone, and groaned. Another night spent dragging his brain through mud. He was just about to close his laptop when the screen flickered. At first, he thought nothing of it. Wi-Fi glitches often happened in this old building. But something strange happened. His browser, which had only been open to his university library database, froze. The cursor twitched and danced across the screen. Then a new tab opened without his touch. Eli leaned closer. The URL was a mess of symbols and characters, gibberish that shouldn't even register as a working link. He tried clicking out of it, but his mouse wouldn't respond. The page was bare, with a black background and stark white letters in the center. They pulsed, as though written in living light. "Welcome, Eli. You have 15 minutes. Do you want to see?" He blinked. For a moment, he wondered if he'd fallen asleep. And this was a dream. His name sat there, bold and unmistakable. The site knew who he was. "Okay," he muttered, a shaky laugh escaping his throat. "This is a prank, some spyware thing." Still, his finger hovered over the trackpad. Every part of his rational brain screamed at him to close the laptop and walk away. But something deeper, some awful mix of fear and curiosity, kept him rooted to the chair. His heart thudded painfully as he clicked yes. The screen blinked once. Then it filled with video. At first, he thought it was just his webcam, accidentally activated, but then his stomach lurched. The feed wasn't from his laptop's camera. His webcam light was off. Yet the image was his dorm room, from the same angle, showing him hunched over the computer exactly as he was now. Eli froze. His reflection, his double, sat perfectly still on screen, but after a long pause, it slowly raised its head. Its eyes locked directly with his, and then it smiled. Eli's own face twisted into a grin he hadn't made. His hands shook as he slammed the laptop shut, his pulse roaring in his ears. He sat back in the chair, breathing hard. After a few seconds of silence, he dared to lift the lid again. The page was still there. The countdown now ticked. 14:22, 14:21, 14:20. His mouth went dry. The version of himself on screen tilted its head, grin widening. Then the feed shifted. It no longer showed his dorm room. Instead, it showed another place entirely, a darkened hallway lit by a single swinging bulb. The camera seemed to move forward as if someone was holding it, stepping closer to a door at the end. The door creaked open. Inside was a bathroom where a woman brushed her teeth in front of a mirror, unaware she was being watched. Eli's skin crawled. The feed changed again. A nursery this time. A baby monitor camera zoomed in on a crib where a child slept peacefully, tiny chest rising and falling with each breath. Then another change. A basement cluttered with old furniture and shadows that seemed to shift on their own. Finally, the image that made Eli's stomach plummet. His mother's bedroom. She lived across town, and she was asleep in her bed, unaware the camera was there. "No," Eli whispered, shaking his head. "This isn't real." But the text on the page told him otherwise. "Do you want to visit them?" Eli reached for the power button, holding it down until the laptop shut off. The screen went black. Relief washed over him, but only for a moment, because just then his phone lit up on the desk. A notification appeared. He grabbed it with trembling hands and froze. The same site was open on his phone. The same countdown is ticking away. The number had dropped to 9:47. He threw the phone onto the bed like it was burning him. His heart hammered in his chest as he unplugged the router from the wall, cutting his internet connection entirely. Yet, when he opened the laptop again, the site hadn't gone away. The feed showed him once more. Or at least, the version of him smiling from the other side. It leaned forward, closer to the camera, lips moving. Eli couldn't hear the words at first, but then, faintly, they seeped from the speakers. "They're watching you now." Eli's head snapped toward his door. A soft, scratching noise echoed from the other side. He held his breath, staring at the doorknob as it jiggled once, then again. The countdown ticked lower. 6, 32, 6:31, 6:30. His reflection spoke again, louder this time, voice warped and raspy. "Open it." Eli stumbled back from the desk, shaking his head violently. "No, stay away from me." The lights in his room flickered. Shadows in the corners seemed to thicken, crawling up the walls like dark fingers reaching him. He pressed himself against the far side of the room, every instinct screaming to run, to get out, but his body felt heavy, anchored in place by fear. The timer bled away. 2:01, 1:59. New text appeared on the screen. "Who will take your place?" Eli's reflection slammed its hands against the inside of the screen. The glass cracked with a sharp, splintering sound. Eli screamed, stumbling forward to slam the laptop shut. But the cracks kept spreading, spiderwebbing across the dark display. The pounding on the door grew louder, heavier, as though fists, or something larger, were hammering against it. The lights flashed wildly, plunging the room into bursts of blinding white and suffocating darkness. The timer hit the final seconds. 0:15, 0:14, 0:13. Eli's reflection grinned, face splitting wider than humanly possible, eyes black and endless. His voice filled the room, layered and distorted, rising above the pounding on the door. Eli backed against the wall, shaking his head, tears streaming down his face. "No, I won't. I won't choose. The clock reached 0. The laptop screen went black. Silence. The lights steadied. The door stopped shaking. For a moment, the world seemed normal again. But the chair at Eli's desk sat empty, spinning slowly as though he had been ripped away mid-breath on the laptop. The screen flickered back to life. A new message glowed across the black void. Welcome, viewer. You have 15 minutes. Do you want to see? And somewhere, another unsuspecting person found the site opening at midnight on another device. And maybe tonight, that person will be you.